All right, so let's talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I've held off on doing this review until I had time to actually get my thoughts straight, play it for a bit. I didn't want to be too hasty. I didn't want to give a review after one day like I've seen a lot of people do. That's totally unfair to the game. So it's been about a full week now that I've been playing this game, and I think I have a solid review in mind, at least as to what I'm going to say here. So first and foremost, you may be thinking, well, what qualifies you, Tabor Hill, to give a review on Call of Duty? So if you weren't aware, I've been uploading Call of Duty on my channel since day one for over 10 years. I've played every single Call of Duty game for the last 10 years and uploaded it to my channel. I've never skipped a Call of Duty, even the bad ones, quote, bad ones like Infinite Warfare, which I thought was one of the best. It's in my top 3 of all time. I uploaded that, one of the few YouTubers to upload it the entire duration of its lifespan. So needless to say, I've been playing Call of Duty for a while. I love Call of Duty. It's my favorite game of all time. And that's just a little bit of background on my review history here. So I'll start out with this. I have never hated a Call of Duty game ever. In my entire career of being a YouTuber, I've loved every single one. A lot of them have got hate. Black Ops 4, Infinite Warfare, loved all of them. Those are 2 of my favorite ones, but we're talking about Modern Warfare. So I didn't do a beta review, and that was mostly because my external hard drive crashed. I had one in the works, but let me just tell you what I thought about the beta before I talk about the main game. So I didn't like the beta at all. When I played that, I thought, if this is how the year's gonna be, it's gonna be in for a world of hurt. And I said as much on my Twitter account. However, I understood that it was just a beta. There's limited guns, limited streaks, limited maps. We only played a few maps. So I was thinking, well, you know, they usually put the good ones in the beta, but if these are the good ones, this is not going to be a good year for Call of Duty. Fast forwarding to the actual release of the game, I have to say my thoughts have not changed. This is one of my least favorite Call of Duties. In fact, I'm just going to put it out there. This is my least favorite Call of Duty of all time. I'd go one step further and say I actually hate this game with a capital H. I hate this game. I never thought I would say that about a Call of Duty, but this one drives me to drink, and let me tell you why. So first, let's talk about the positives, because there are a few positives. Gunplay in this game is phenomenal. I've always loved Infinity Ward's gunplay. This game has some of the best gunplay I've ever experienced in any Call of Duty. The hit detection is perfect. The bullet registration is spot on. The time to kill is absolutely perfect, in my opinion. A lot of people could disagree with that, but I'm loving it at the moment. Everything about the gun mechanics in this game, I personally enjoy. So if that's a positive on my review, why do I hate this game? Well, it should be no surprise to you that I think the maps in this game are absolutely garbage. Everything I thought about the maps in the beta are strikingly true in the actual release as well. There's not a single map in this game that I enjoy. I have never played a game in Modern Warfare where I came off after the match saying, wow, I had a great time playing that map. Never, not even once. Now, every Call of Duty has bad maps, but not every Call of Duty has every single map absolutely terrible. So there's quite a few reasons for this. Number one, they did away with basically the 3-lane philosophy that most Call of Duties go by. And with those 3-lane maps, you can kind of predict how things are going to flow. You know where the strong points are, you know how to rotate. Everything is pretty much adaptable after you learn the maps a few times. And that's how I thought this game was going to be. I thought after the initial shock and awe of me doing terrible on these maps that I would learn them, I would adapt. But there's no learning these maps because they're so big. And there's not just 3 lanes, there's 1,000 lanes. You could cross the street, the coast looks clear, and all of a sudden you're getting shot from every single direction on the map. There's too many lanes, there's too many buildings, there's too many spots to camp, there's too many windows, there's too much of everything. They need to shrink the maps, they need to reduce all the clutter around the map. There's too many head glitching spots, there's just too much in every single map. If you disagree with that, then I highly suggest to play a free-for-all match. Free-for-all is my favorite game mode of all time. If you weren't aware, you have to get 30 kills to win the match. Go into free-for-all right now, play 10 matches, and you come back and leave a comment as to how many finished with 30 kills. Because I've played over 30 matches of free-for-all so far, and I've been tallying 3 times. 3 times out of 30, someone has hit 30 points. That's it. Every other game expires due to the time limit. And why would that be? Because the maps are way too big and nobody moves and everybody camps. That's not how Call of Duty should be. I can't even tell you the last time I had a match expire in free-for-all due to the time limit in any other Call of Duty game. And if you think that's the extent of the problem, just the maps are too big, no. It gets worse because the spawns are atrocious. And I personally have never had issues with spawns before. You hear a lot of people complain every Call of Duty, well, the spawns are garbage. I just get spawn trapped every game. That has never happened to me. People use the term spawn trapping too loosely all the time. However, in this game, it's 1000% true. I played a match of Team Deathmatch where my entire team spawned in the same spot the entire match. There were 6 guys posted in front of our spawn, lasering us. We couldn't move, you couldn't do anything, and the spawn not once, not even one time flipped. We were on the same side of the map, the same location, the same general area, the entire match, and that should never happen. In fact, in free-for-all, it doesn't work like that. If I die in free-for-all, I spawn somewhere else. Why is it like that in Domination? Why is it like that in Team Deathmatch? Why is it like that in every other game mode except for free-for-all? I have no idea. But in those games, I'm going like 2 and 20 and I can't get out of the spawn. And I've had so many people, just random players saying, why are we not spawn flipping? And I have to say, I have no idea. But we're getting absolutely destroyed and the match will end 75 to about 20 and we lose every single time. I've only been on the delivering end of that side once, and that game felt totally unfair to me because we were just slaughtering these guys and they couldn't move, just like I always can't move. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that this is mostly due to the community, that the community is ruining this game by camping. But like I said, the maps promote it. There are camping spots every which way you want to look. So many windows, like I said, so many doors to peek through, so many places to climb up and just sit the entire match and watch for people to run by. So yes, the community does play a part, but I can't help but feel that if this game had maps like every other Call of Duty, it would be way, way more enjoyable. Now don't get me wrong, Infinity Ward promotes camping in the game. A majority of the games that they have produced have been like this. Call of Duty Ghosts and Modern Warfare 3 both are prime examples. You can go back to my own videos and I've made several on Ghosts, for example. That was one of my favorite games of all time, but there was tons of camping in it. However, because the maps were 3-laned, it was easily counterable. Yes, you could walk through a door and get blasted, but at the same time, it wasn't like that every single lane of every single map like it is in Modern Warfare. So it's exponentially worse in this game, which makes it so much less fun to play. Now, if you add in the fact that they messed up the minimap, that just makes things even worse. They added a compass, which in my opinion is completely useless to use. Yes, it does show gunfire, but it's so hard to pinpoint the exact location, unlike a minimap showing gunfire, which is super easy. Now, I will say that I did enjoy they added the minimap back, because in the beta, for most of the beta, it was gone completely. And that was so frustrating. So at least with the minimap being up there, you kind of get a feel for how to traverse the map. But because there's no red dots, and because the compass is so useless, there's no situational awareness. That's one of my key points at doing well on the map. I have great situational awareness. I can find enemies, I can kill them, I can avoid death. In this game, because of all these things that are going against your situational awareness, it's almost impossible to do well. Now, they say that this game is for all play styles, but that is simply not true. Rushers get penalized more so than I've ever seen in any Call of Duty game. And that's why you have so many people camping. Just look at Gunsmith. Almost every attachment you equip in this game will penalize your movement, your aim down sight, or your recoil for whatever reason. Now, some of these, of course, are very minimal, but at the same time, some of these are quite noticeable. I get it that they're trying to go with the realistic aspect, but when everything slows down your ADS or your movement speed, it just makes it feel so clunky. And speaking of clunkiness, the movement in this game is just brutal. It almost feels like I'm playing Battlefield, and I hate Battlefield. No offense to all my Battlefield fans out there, but I can't stand that game. The sliding in this game is a joke. It needs to be extended way more than it currently is. I don't see anyone slide ever, and I was super excited about the slide coming back. Now, the mounting mechanic, I kind of enjoy this, but at the same time, it again promotes more camping. Next up, let's talk about the score streaks, or excuse me, the kill streaks. The only way to get score streaks in this game is with a perk, and I absolutely hate this as well. Basically, without the perk that makes your kill streaks turn into score streaks, playing any objective mode is just not worth your time. Nobody goes for the objective, and rightfully so, because you get jack squat for doing so. Gone are the days where you could cap the B flag, get a few kills, and get all your streaks because you were playing the objective. Now you do that and it's absolutely worthless. You get nothing towards your kill streaks. I was a big fan of game modes like Hardpoint and Domination in every game that has score streaks. Heck, even Call of Duty Ghosts implemented score streaks after halfway through. So to revert back to kill streaks and only rely on a perk to make it how it should be is just not good game design in my opinion. Speaking of score streaks, they've also hindered the way you pick your streaks. So if you go into your kill streaks, you'll see that they're sorted by kills. For example, 4 kills, you can pick the counter UAV, the UAV, or the care package. And this greatly hinders what streaks you can run because they've made it so you can only pick one from each category. So you can't run the counter UAV, the UAV, and the care package. That was my go-to class in most Call of Duties I play. Now, you can't run but one of those per match. So there may be 19 kill streaks in the game, but technically there's only 9 because you can only pick one from each category every game. And that is some Mickey Mouse bull squash. Why not allow anyone to pick whatever streaks they want? Now, I didn't think they could ever mess up the challenge system in Call of Duty, but they managed to do so in Modern Warfare. So I did a video covering this already, so I'll keep this part brief. If you want to check that video out, I'll link it in the description. So let me just briefly explain how this works. You've got a handful of what they call missions in this game, and you have to select one. So when you select your mission, you then have a certain number of objectives within that mission to complete. For example, in Best of the Best here, the first objective is get 10 double kills, which is 2 rapid kills. So if I select that mission, that's the only objective I can do in a match, other than the daily challenges. Now you may be thinking, well, what's wrong with that? Basically, they limited the crap out of the challenges you could do per match. Let's say after picking the Best of the Best mission here, you go and have the game of your life. You get a nuke, you get 15 kills without dying, and you get a quad feed. So then you come back to this challenge screen and you look at the Best of the Best and you cycle down and you see that get 1 quad feed is an objective, but it says 0 out of 1. And then you see get 15 kills without dying is an objective, which is still 0 out of 1. In any other Call of Duty game, since you did those missions in a match, they would have registered and counted. In this game, like I said, you can only have 1 objective per match. So because you didn't get any double kills that match, despite getting all these other challenges done, none of them count. You can only have 1 objective per match. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it's absolutely brutal for challenge seekers. You never know when you're going to go on a 15 kill streak without dying, but in this game, you have to select the mission with it, and you have to be on that particular objective. Like I said, in any other Call of Duty game, if you did that challenge in any match, it would just give it to you. Now you have to have it selected from the mission, and you have to be on that personal objective with it. Now let's talk about the field upgrades. I do like this concept. They've basically taken perks and tactical equipment and put them as abilities that charge over time. Now some of these things work quite nicely, like the munitions box. This is great. Or the recon drone. But some of the things, like Dead Silence, should absolutely be perks in the game and not a field upgrade that only lasts for 15 seconds. And that leads me right into the footsteps discussion. Without Dead Silence, it sounds like everyone is stomping around with frying pans on their feet. You can hear someone walking or running from halfway across the map. There is no stealth in this game, even when you crouch walk, it still makes a ton of noise. The fact that Dead Silence lasts only 15 seconds and takes about a minute and a half to charge means there's almost no stealth in this game. I think Dead Silence 1000% should be a perk, but then at the same time, everyone would run it. So it needs to be in a category that has a lot of other useful perks. Now I do enjoy the blueprints in this game. If you're not sure what those do, you earn these through challenges and they basically craft a weapon for you. You don't get a brand new gun, but you get a different variation of a gun you already have. And it comes equipped with attachments already if you want them on, but you can change them. Now likewise, I do enjoy that you can edit your gun in the middle of a match. If you unlock an attachment in the middle of a game, you can equip that and have it on your next spawn. And that, as they say, is that. So while there are a few great things about Modern Warfare, there's just way too many bad things that make it incredibly frustrating to play. So in the past 10 years, I've held a 2.0 KD ratio in every single Call of Duty. Even Call of Duty Ghosts, which was my worst one to date. However, as you can see here in Modern Warfare, my kill-death ratio is 1.0. 1-1, and that's in 99 matches played, 7 hours into the game. Now, I'm an incredibly tactical player. I love to run and gun, but at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, I'm very situationally aware. So why am I doing so bad in this game? I have no idea. I can go 22-3 in one match, and the very next game I'll go 2-20. Now, I blame my poor play on the maps. Like I said, there's just way too much camping in this game. Nobody wants to move, and the lobbies that you do get people running around are just too rare. Not to mention that every single match you play, you get put into a new lobby every time. So if you finally get into a lobby where people are running around and enjoying the run and gun gameplay, you're gonna get spewed into another lobby every time right after the match. So like I said, I have never hated a Call of Duty game before, but this one is the bottom of my list. This is hands down my personal least favorite Call of Duty of all time. Now, can they turn this around? Absolutely. We need smaller maps, less clutter on the maps, and more promotion of the run and gun gameplay. Now, I know in Black Ops 4, a lot of the community hated the remade maps, but in this game, I think we absolutely need them. I want to play this game with 3-lane maps and see how it plays. Like I said, the gunplay is phenomenal, but the maps just destroy the fun factor in this game. The community is taking full advantage of the camping, and it's just not an enjoyable experience. I want to play this game to have fun, but I can't play more than a handful of matches per session before I get so mad that I just want to quit playing and do something else. And that has never happened to me before in any Call of Duty for the past 10 years. It's not fun, it's not enjoyable, the maps are atrocious. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. A lot of people ask me my opinion on whether or not they should buy it or not. At this point, I would say save your money. Or you could just buy the physical copy. That way you can test the game out, you can play it for a bit, form your own opinion, and then return it if you think it's Mickey Mouse Bull Squash like I do. Now, will I continue to make videos on this game? Absolutely. I want to enjoy this game. I want to have fun. I want to make more Call of Duty videos, but at this rate, my patience is definitely dwindling.